Welcome back, everybody, to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. It's Kira with Follow Your Arrow Tarot, and I will be doing the September 2018 monthly reading for the air sign of Aquarius. So welcome, Aquarians, to my channel if you are watching. I just wanted to let you know that if you wanted to follow me on Instagram or Facebook and get all notifications of when I'll be posting videos a little bit quicker, the link's in the description box below, along with, if you're interested in personal readings, information on pricing is in the description box. If you're interested, please email me at followyourarrowtarot@gmail.com. So, getting started with the Aquarius September 2018 monthly reading, I just want to fill Aquarians in on some information that I got while meditating regarding your sign. Well, I'll shuffle the deck. I'll be doing a 5-card reading, beginning with the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck. All right, Aquarians, so when I was meditating on your sign, and what's interesting also is that you're kind of my middle reading for the month. I do readings for right now on signs based on just what sign comes to my mind for that day. You know, if a sign comes forward and I just get a compelling reason to do your reading, that's what I do. And so, Aquarians, you're about in the middle of my readings for the month, which is interesting because when I was meditating on your sign, I always like to associate that month and that sign with like a color or a symbol or a letter or a word. And when I was meditating, I got the color yellow, but I kept getting the image of either the letter T or a cross or a plus sign. What's interesting is that I believe for a lot of you, especially with the full moon that just occurred on Monday, September 24th. Today is actually Wednesday the 26th, so just a few days ago, we had a full moon in Aries, which was actually in the Aquarian 3rd house. And upon my research and reading, that was telling me that Aquarians are kind of, you're at this point in your life journey or in this moment of time where you're on a spiritual crossroads, which I thought was interesting when I was reading and researching on your sign. When I was meditating earlier, I kept getting the image of a T or a plus sign or a cross. So I really feel like, you know, whoever my messages are resonating with, although, disclaimer, they may not resonate with everybody, but for those Aquarians who I'm feeling for, Spirit's kind of telling me that you're at a crossroads. Now, although it's more spiritual, it may be a crossroads of any type. And then the word I got for you, I really didn't get like letters, except for if that's a T, but I really think it's more of a cross. The word I kept hearing when I was meditating was lessons. Lessons. So you may be an Aquarian who's taking lessons, whether that's through school, maybe that's extracurricular lessons, or for me, I felt as though for Aquarians, in your life journey, you are in the midst of learning lessons, or you have karmatic lessons that you need to learn, a lesson of some sort. I kind of got that feeling of more like, you know, more newer soul, which with the crossroads, I feel like spiritually you're questioning things. If you've been someone who's maybe, you know, been a churchgoer, or when you were growing up were really schooled in a certain way of thinking or a belief system, I really feel like this time in your life you're really questioning that. Or maybe not so much like foregoing that belief system, but also seeing how cultures and religion and spirituality in your adult life, how that fits into the religion that you were brought up on, and how that all manifests itself into the image you believe, you know, the soul is on, or you know, whatever you believe. I really feel like maybe those are more of the crossroads, the lessons that you're feeling. I feel it's more spiritual. more self-development of perceived values and beliefs mixed in this earthly world setting. So if you followed me on that, I hope that message got to somebody if you've been feeling that way. I also believe in the beginning of the month of September, it'll be a time of recovery for some Aquarians. I feel as though in your recent past, and this could even be for Aquarians, you know, for the last few years or maybe earlier in your life, I feel as though you've had, you know, some experiences with limitations. And I feel like that's where the cross comes in, whether that's people telling you can't do something or external sources prevented you from doing things. Maybe you grew up in an impoverished family, or maybe right now you're going through poverty, or you're unable to provide, or you're unable to do something. I feel like something is preventing you, and you feel limitless. You kind of feel a little bit powerless in whatever situation or person or thing that's doing this to you. And I also feel like you've had some painful experiences with that limitation. Something just kind of telling me like maybe some teasing or bullying for some of you Aquarians. Yeah, something has limited you. I keep just getting this plus or this cross side. Towards the middle to end, I feel as though Aquarians are really going to be focusing on home and family issues. If you are having issues right now, whether that's in a relationship or with anyone in your family, immediate family, external family, children, parents, I feel like you really feel like that's important right now to focus on. Towards the middle to the end of the month, Mercury is in Leo in your 7th house of relationships. So I do feel like that kind of goes with the focusing on family and home. I really feel like you're maybe not necessarily struggling, and this could be where the limitation comes in, but I really feel as though you're trying to find some common ground with somebody or others. I feel it's more than one person, and I feel like they're people close to you, whether that's people you work with or people you love or your family or your friends. Finding common ground, I feel like there's some disagreements, not like arguments, like fighting, but disagreements in like beliefs and what you feel is right or how things should be done. And so compromise, I'm getting the word compromise, cooperate. I think it's a really good time for Aquarians to travel. I think that's just getting the vibe that maybe some time away might help some of you consolidate the feelings you're having, and maybe that limitation or just some external forces that you feel are limiting you. However, I do think for some Aquarians, while isolating yourself, like maybe doing the hermit type thing, I do think socializing for some will be very advantageous. I get some feeling that some of you Aquarians have been more hermit-like, and you hold a lot of stuff in. You're really reluctant to open up to others. So I think socializing is important, but I do think you need to pay attention to and be careful of people who like are kind of like leaders. They like to orchestrate and kind of tell people what to do, like in a friends group. You have that one friend that plans everything, tells all the other friends what to do, and everybody else just goes with the flow and they listen to that person. They just kind of assume that kind of Leo, leader type vibe. I feel like you get annoyed with people like that, so be cognizant of that. I feel like towards the end of the month, going into October, there's going to be some type of sudden change, and I feel like it has, again, to go, like I keep going back to that cross. That's like Spirit's just telling me cross, and I really feel like there's going to be some type of sudden change, whether that's a change that you inflict or you put your foot down. But I kind of feel like it's with that limitation I was talking about earlier, like this sudden change is going to happen, and you're not going to have any say-so in it. It's just going to happen, whether that's someone making a change or work or something externally. And I feel like that change is going to make you feel rebellious and kind of like the, I don't give a about anything. I feel like going into October, you're going to be really rebellious. And if you're somebody who tends to be a square and kind of does things by the rules, I kind of see that people are going to start being like, it's got that vibe of like, this is not like you, or you don't do this. So, and then I think towards the end of the month into October as well with that rebellious thing. I think that could be the lessons and crossroads here too. I think it's also internally too, is like personal issues. Like, how do you handle all that? How do you handle thinking different than others? How do you handle the way people's personalities overpower you, or, you know, things like that? You're going to have those personal issues. So, yeah. I think you're going to be towards the end of the month spending a little bit of alone time with yourself, and maybe that's where travel comes in. Yeah, interesting. I think if you're someone who's newly interested in spirit or tarot card reading, I feel as though you may be seeking counsel from someone who's spiritual, whether, you know, that's a pastor at your church you go to, or a tarot card reader like myself. I feel as though you're going to be asking for answers because you're going to feel a little lost. Okay? All right, Aquarians. So that was a little bit of my intuitive reading for you for the month of September. Let's ask Spirit, what messages do we have for Aquarius in the month of September of 2018? What messages do we have for Aquarius in the month of September 2018? What does Aquarius need to know? What is happening for Aquarius in the month of September 2018? All right, let's see here. Aquarius. Ooh, that one flew like a shotgun. I said the word shotgun. Aquarius, if you have guns, make sure they are locked up and put safely away. Set and change. I don't like that feeling that I just got. All right, what else? Aquarius need to know. Okay. Oh, what was I saying, yo? Hermit card. Yep. Towards the end of the month, you're definitely going to be doing some introspection and having some alone time. That's going to be good for you. But I don't like that. All right. Yep. All right, Aquarius. Sorry for the heavy reading, but here we go. First card is the Tower card in reverse. So I think this kind of goes along with what I was saying earlier, that you have experienced some pain, whether that's in your recent past or, you know, several years ago. You've had some painful experiences with limitations. And the people with whom you've had those experiences with, it could be a relationship, family things, whatever, something, you know, caused a change in your recent journey. But that's a good thing. Tower card in reverse to me is always a good thing because it means that you're finally over that hump. So Aquarians, you had something really bad happen in your recent past. Not sure. I'm not getting a vibe yet, but we're going to clarify that of what that was. But whatever it is, the biggest hump, I feel you're over. Okay, that's great. But I feel that this big hump really taught you a lesson and has left you thinking. And it's really changed your perspective on the world. Okay. I feel like it grounded you. It brought you back to reality. Because for a while you were up here. I feel like maybe you're a little ignorant about things. Or didn't see things clearly because you only had this much of a view. Couldn't see everything below. And I think that it made you fall. Okay. Yeah, we're going to clarify that. Okay. Next you have the Sun in reverse. And normally the Sun upright is really good. It's celebration. It's new beginnings. I always see a child and a horse. So for me personally, this card's like freedom and vitality and youthfulness. And the Sun in the upright position is one of those cards that you really want to get in a reading. It's just really good, you know, good. But in reverse, I feel as though, like I said, maybe some sudden changes. You're not going to feel very, you know. And then I did say yellow earlier. So, in reverse, you're not feeling like that anymore. You know, for me in the upright position, it means vitality, health, stamina. And so I said earlier, you're going to be kind of in recovery mode the first of the month. And this is the second card I pulled. So after whatever this was, you feel like you need to recover. You don't feel so bright and sunshine and cheerful. That's what I'm getting. Okay, middle of the month. Okay, you have the 9 of Wands. Okay, fire. So you could be with whatever issues you're having. And I feel it's personal. This could be with the home and the family, or with the other people. Could be a fire sign in your life. Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo. But it has you feel really beaten down, and whoever this is, I feel as though you've put time and effort in, and you're kind of looking back of like, dang, like, really? Like, after all that, you know? And you feel like, you know, God, you just can't catch a break with whatever is going on. But luckily, you know, this is the 9 and 10's completion. So I don't feel like this is going to last very long, because I do feel like I said earlier, that hermit vibe is going to come in for you, where you're going to maybe travel and you're going to do some an inner self-reflection. You're going to reconsolidate everything that's happened to you, you know, whether this is the, you know, past 9 weeks or 9 months or 9 years. You're going to be thinking about how you've been feeling, and the pain and the big turmoils that have happened to you, the limitations, that crossroad. And that's going to bring you here, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes when people get the Hermit card, they're like, it's because it's a dark card and he looks very solemn. But for me, the Hermit card is good. It's solitude. And in solitude, we find ourselves. And maybe that's those lessons that I was feeling you need to learn. But don't worry, because you do have the light. Okay, you do have the light to light your way. You just need some time to think and see. I feel as though like new you know, like, but you know, new way of thinking you. You're changing how you think about things, especially spiritually, and how you relate to the world. I feel like this is a big month of growth for Aquarius. But this card does have me concerned. I feel, you know, and this could go either way. And this is the outcome card, and it's the Devil, which is associated with Capricorn. So a Capricorn could be causing you these issues. You could, well, you're not a Capricorn because this is for Aquarius, but maybe you have Capricorn in your chart. So it could be with relationship or with other people. You know, the Devil is a sign of, you know, temptation and, you know, addictions, things like that. So like I was saying earlier, at the end of the month, I feel as though there's going to be a sudden change. You're going to have some introspection. You're going to feel hermitish. But then some of you Aquarians, and I feel it's quite true because most of the Aquarians I know are pretty rebellious, even though they may be quiet about it. They're pretty rebellious, but I feel like that might be what this card means towards the end of the month. You're going to be rebellious, and you're going to do things that people aren't used to seeing you do, or you're going to succumb. You're going to get depressed. It may not be good for you, and you're going to start, you know, doing things. Maybe, to me, Aquarians, even though they're air sign, I've always associated them with water. And I know a lot of Aquarians, and this may not be true for everyone, so don't take it offense, but most of the ones that I personally know in my life have always had substance abuse issues of one source or another, whether that was codependence in a relationship. So maybe you feel as though you can't break the chain with someone, and you know that's good for you to leave. For other people, it could be anything from overeating to my vibe is, you know, drinking your sorrows away. Drinking your sorrows away. But at the end of the day, once the veil wears off, you still got the problem. So don't succumb to that, Aquarius. And I'm concerned that that's how you end up handling this. Maybe all this has become too much for you. So instead of having this be your outcome, I want this to be more for you, Aquarius. I want you to take some time alone. Look within. Look at these not as horrible things that have happened to you, but as life lessons. What not focus on the negative. Let's manifest the good. What good things came out of that negative? And I know it's really hard to think. We're humans. We're creatures of habit. It's easier to look out for the negative. But I really want you to focus on hearing, how did this situation make you better? Maybe it didn't make you better the next day, but maybe a year down the road, you look back and you realize you went through that. It taught you maybe empathy, or maybe it helped you with the job that you're in, be able to connect with other people because you know what they've gone through. Or maybe, having this happen to you, changed your life. And even though, God, you've worked so hard since that fall, that it feels like you're constantly limited, like crossroad. Every time you get a little step further, there's a stick, there's something in your way. You feel like you've constantly been limited and you don't feel like it's ever going to go away. It will, in time. And what's interesting is you have 4 major arcana cards: the Tower reversed, the Sun reversed, the Hermit, and the Devil. You only have 1 minor. So there's some big, for these 4 major arcanas to come out in your reading, you've got some big lessons, big spiritual crossroads you're going through. And be nice to yourself. I'm getting the vibe of like you're too hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself. It takes time to heal. It takes time to learn. And don't be afraid to change. I'm feeling, that you're afraid. And maybe you're afraid because, your family or whom you're with, I feel as though maybe people aren't as accepting of the change you're going through. But that's okay. Okay. I think we're good there. I want to clarify these cards, because even though I feel like there's a clear message here, the details are fuzzy to me. Like, I know the clear big picture, but the small picture is kind of fuzzy to me. All right. So I'm going to be using the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. Okay, Oracle deck by Holland to clarify for September 2018 Aquarius. So, Spirit, please help me clarify this reading for Aquarius in the month of September 2018. What messages can Aquarius get that will help give us detail and insight to what they're going through for the month of September of 2018? I'm going to get this Tower in reverse for Aquarius. This Tower in reverse. What thing did Aquarius have to overcome? Okay, so for the Tower reversed, you have release. Okay, that's beautiful because, as I said earlier, you have gone through something. What that is, I don't know, but you watching, you know what that is. And this is Spirit telling you it's time to release that. Let it go. Let it be in the past. What is, it is what it is. And what it was what it was. It happened to you. And that sucks. But if you keep dwelling on it, if you keep thinking about that, you're going to manifest the same type of things or the same energy in your life over and over. So just let it go. Okay. What's the Sun reversed? Here we go. Just breathe. Wonderful. And I said the color yellow. I find it interesting. There's a lot of yellow symbolism in your spread, Aquarius. This man who's releasing has light, yellow light. So when you're self-reflecting by yourself, I want you to think about a yellow or a very bright light around you, healing you. Here's the Hermit card. Okay, the Star. Leading the way, yellow light. Sun in reverse, even though it's a reverse, we've got yellow, right? Now, the Sun in reverse, the clarifying card is just breathe. Release and just breathe. Be in the moment. I feel as though you're doing too much. And this is Spirit in the world telling you to pause. This is a cause for a pause. Funny, she's wearing yellow. Okay. All right, this Nine of Wands. Please clarify this Nine of Wands. Okay. Some other signs have got this month. Feeling alone. And I feel like it's more so that you felt alone throughout your journey and throughout this problem. Most of the cards are pretty singular. And I feel as though you feel alone in the problems that you're going through, but I get that feeling that being alone is not the best thing for you, though. You feel alone, but you don't need to be alone. I do think you need to surround yourself with people who are in the sun, who are in the light, who have this kind of happy-go-lucky feeling. Get yourself around those people. And if you don't have those people in your life, I don't know, strike up a conversation with a stranger who just has a really good aura about them. You really need that. Notice there's a full moon. We just had a full moon in Aries, actually Monday, 2 days ago. So I'm kind of getting the vibe that maybe on the 24th or the 25th with the full moon energy, it was very heavy on you, and it really made you start thinking about all the things you went to or you've went through. And I think that coming out of the full moon towards the end of this week, the last week of September going into October, that's going to make you start thinking, okay? But remember, you are not alone in your journey, you know? And whoever you pray to, whoever you talk to, whether that's, you know, a family member who's passed over, or that spirit, or God for you, or whomever, you know, a deity, whatever you believe in, whoever you talk to them, you know? And you don't talk it out loud in your mind. Head down in your mind talking. I think that'll be good for you. Clarify this Hermit card for Aquarius in the month of September 2018. That's interesting. Didn't expect that card to come out, but that's a wonderful card. Coming together. Okay. 2 people. This young boy is making a heart. Notice there's a pearl there. So I'm kind of getting the vibe, okay, that this introspection, okay, is going to get you here to this pearl, you know. But notice that pearl, you know, has to undergo a lot of pressure and kind of incubate for a very long time before it's cracked open. And getting it open is very hard. And I feel like for some of you Aquarians who this message is for, you're a hard cookie to crack. Like you're tight. You don't want to tell people really what's going on with you. And inside, you know, this kind of metamorphosis, like a butterfly, is going on with you. Like I said, a new you, but like a new spiritual inner you, you know, ascension, awakening possibly could be happening, where eventually, okay, it's all going to come together. And I feel like it's more for you as a person, but this could mean for some Aquarians who are really, maybe all the issues are about your family. Maybe some of you have a spouse and just, you know, like a son. Maybe it's a family of 3. At the end, this will be you, and you're going to come out, and you're going to be precious, and you're going to be, you know, a fine jewel because of all this, because all that pressure made you become something beautiful. That's kind of what I feel for Aquarians. Lastly, this outcome card, the Devil. Please clarify the Devil. What things are Aquarians going through? Okay, you got sadness and isolation in reverse. So for some of, I feel as though for some of you, with it in reverse, is telling me that you're going to move out of a place of sadness and isolation. That feeling that you're feeling alone earlier in the month. For some of you who don't become rebellious, you don't cave to temptation, or you don't hang around with the wrong people who tell you, you've been through all this, you should do this and that, you know, F the world or whatever, you know, bad influences, you can end there. But if you, you know, kick this guy out of your brain, or this thing, or this urge, or this energy, then you're going to come out of it not feeling isolated and alone anymore. But I feel as though if you cave into this energy, you will feel sadness and isolation. Because we want you to be ascending, growing, and all the Devil card is going to get you is here, underground. We need you to go to the light, not that way. And I find that this symbolism is really interesting with the double card paralleled. I mean, because this is just basic, you know, heaven, earth, you know, darkness, light. I find it very interesting that those cards came out together, just, you know, spiritually, you know, religiously interesting. And that might tie into what I was telling you earlier about that I feel like you're at a spiritual crossroads. Interesting, I just got the thought of atheist. So some of you Aquarians who are watching this videos may be atheists. Maybe you don't believe in spirituality at all. But with all the things you've gone through, you're kind of at this point of your life where you believe that it's got to be something. You know, there's got to be something out there. But you battle with that. Okay? Bottom of the deck was the third eye chakra in reverse. So, like I said, we need to get you a you know, awakening, opening up that third eye. But you really have some obstacles and lessons ahead of you, and you need some personal strength and power. Because I feel as though for some of you, your third eye chakra is blocked. Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. And lastly, let's get some messages from the guides, transformation cards from James and Praagh. Spirit, what messages say you for Aquarius in the month of September of 2018? What messages do you have for Aquarius? What does Aquarius need to know on this journey of pain and struggle to introspection and light? Beautiful. Give without expectation. That's a good one. A lot of people have actually got that one this month. You know, and I feel as though I've repeated this in another video. I just can't remember what sign. But oftentimes, the best way to heal or to learn is to give. You always see those movies or commercials of people. They go do community service. You know, they go serve food to the needy, or they donate, you know, something. They do something for the world. You know, they pay it forward. And what they don't realize is they think that they're helping someone else, but really, the person who's doing the act of kindness tends to end up getting more from the experience than the other person that they were serving. So kind of when I was saying earlier that for some of you, socializing and being around others might be good for you. Maybe the solitude may be not good for some of you, because it may lead you to this. So maybe giving to others and keeping yourself around people who are more in the light. Okay, you may get those answers to those lessons. Okay, and worry is a wasted emotion. Okay, like I was saying earlier, I feel as though some of you Aquarians are really dwelling on the past and thinking about it a lot. Limitations, being judged, being told you couldn't do something. I just got the thought of saying you're not beautiful enough. So maybe for some of you Aquarians, you've been being told, and I just said Sag, so maybe it came from a Sagittarius, I don't know, telling you weren't good enough. Don't worry. Okay, your clarifying cards say it's a time to release, and it's a time to just breathe. Okay, Aquarians. Worry isn't a wasted emotion. And you can see this on other videos. You could read this in books. Manifestation, the secret. Okay, the more negative energy you have as a person, or the more negative things you think, or you think you're not going to get something, or you can't do something, guess what? You're right, because you're going to manifest that into your world. Okay, so let go of those worry thoughts and start thinking. Create a vision board, right? Even if you're just throwing up a picture, maybe it's a picture to a time in your life when you were a child where you were the happiest. Put that, if you're a girl, where you do your makeup, or, you know, in the bathroom when you get ready in the morning, and look at that. And do what you got to do to be that adult that you would have wanted as when you were a child. Okay? All right. Beautiful reading, Aquarius. Sorry that it was heavy. I don't think it's the worst reading, because I've had other signs who are really going through some stuff or having some not so great things happening to them. I feel as though this is a definite recovery reading. You've been through stuff and you are on the path to getting over it, and you're at this crossroads in your life where You really can go a good way or a not so good way, but it's up to you to decide. Okay? So thank you, Aquarius, for watching. If you like this video and the message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And help me get more views. I would be greatly appreciated. If it did resonate with you, I would really love to hear comments in the section below about how any cards or portions of the reading or the overall message applied to you Aquarians out there. That would be wonderful. Again, if you're interested in contacting me or getting updates, click the bell. You'll get my updates quickly. You could also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at FollowYourArrowTarot. And you could also email me at gmail@FollowYourArrowTarot for a personal reading and for information regarding that. So, Sagittarius, have a great rest of your September. And I hope to see you back in October. Bye.